Well, I have got the floor out of the Scotty. Now I've got to turn these two sheets of plywood and some 2x4s I've got to rip down. I've got to turn that into this. So that's the underside, obviously. I flipped it over and I've got to measure it very, very carefully because I'm not going to build it on top of the frame. I am going to look at this side and then I'm going to come over here, measure this and cut it. And I'm going to do that multiple times. So what I want you to see is obviously right here's our drop down. This is the entrance. Remember, it's upside down and backwards. So here's your entrance. That's the door side, upside down. You walk in, here's your drop down. Your bed's going to be back here. And then up here is where the dinette's going to be. So we've got to make sure that we know we're upside down and backwards when we get back over to our plywood. Now that plywood I used is 19/32. They used 1/2 inch. That's 3/32 bigger than 1/2 inch, so that's okay. I like to go a little bit thicker anyway on the floor, never on the walls, because then you got to change everything. And I don't really particularly like doing that, so it's okay on the floor. So I'm going to start on here with the very back measurement. I'm going to start right here, the very back. I'm going to make sure that I measure these because right now they're sitting at 1.5 wide, but they're going to be right at 2 inches deep. So I've got to make sure that everything I cut is 2 inches deep so that when it lays down on the frame, hey, if you're getting any kind of value out of any of my videos, maybe this one, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. It helps our channel grow, and I think it's fun. Leave me a comment because I really like that. Like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. All right, so 2 inches deep, and these are approximately 1.5 wide, which is okay because that's what 2x4s are anyway. So we just got that 1.5. We'll cut it too. So we'll measure this. We'll cut it after we cut our plywood, obviously. So we're going to measure the plywood, cut it. Then we're going to start measuring these and set them there. Now, I'm going to come from right here and measure this one exactly. And then I'm going to take from here and I'm going to come up and I'm going to measure this one. And I'm going to measure this one while I'm here. So then I'll come all the way up to the front, make sure that my measurements all match. And then I'm going to start going this way. So I'm going to start knowing that I squared these up, and I'm going to come here to here. And I'm not going to go from here to here and then from here to here. I'm going to go from here to here to here, just like this, off of that back measurement. And I'll probably get a little closer here to the corner, kind of like a cornerstone, you know, but I just want you to be able to see it. So always measure from here. Don't bring it up here because you get 1/8 of an inch off and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you got 1/2 inch now that you're going to be off. And we don't want to be off 1/2 inch to get started because when you go to flip this over and it doesn't set on there, that's a mess. I did it one time. I'm never going to do it again because I don't like doing double the work. So measure there to there to there to there to there and make sure that you keep it measured from the same spot. And you'll do the same thing with all of these. We won't build our drop down while it's upside down. We'll wait till we flip that over to get a more precise measurement. But we will measure from here up to here. We'll take that measurement. And then we'll know when we get to the other side that the same thing's going to happen, except we got this drop down. So we're going to measure from there to there. We'll know where our wheel well is, and it should be the exact same measurement as that wheel well. And then from the end of the wheel well to the beginning of the wheel well, same measurement. And then this won't be here, so it'll be much easier to measure when I go this way. And that's what's going to keep me honest right up here to the very beginning. And that's interesting. No, it's not. I thought they were off, but I'm like, I got a hump going here. Never mind, never mind. And then we want to make sure that we get all our openings right here, because that's where the tongue is going to attach to. Very important. So that's where we're going to go today. I'm going to get cutting, and now I'm going to show you where I get. Well, I got it upside down and backwards, to right side up and straight across. But hey, check this out. No drop down. I'm going to try something completely different. I've never done it before, and I want to see if it'll work. I hope it does. If it doesn't, it's just going to cost me time and money. But hey, sometimes there's a fine line between idiot and genius. Let's see where I stand on that line. Speaking of lines, I went ahead and I traced out where the drop down should be. If you can kind of see that blue line there going across that pencil line, back down to this blue chalk line, cross here, and then back out the door. This is the door side. You can see that's where the door drop down will be. I'm going to take my jigsaw and I'm going to cut that out. My goal here, my genius part, is it will drop directly down into place. Voila. Let's see. Well, I don't know how much time or energy or money I saved, but I didn't cost myself any extra. Now I've just got to come along here and fill in the edges for the drop down. But, I mean, it has to be a perfect fit, right? Other than, you know, my edges might be just a little wonky, but I think they look pretty good. I think that's all right. So I guess it's up to you guys. Genius or idiot. Around here, it just kind of depends on the time of day when it comes to me, but there's our drop down. I'm pretty happy about it. Operation drop down complete. It's dropped down. It fits pretty tight. I'm going to go ahead and grab some screws. I'm going to screw this in real tight, and then I'm going to take 4 carriage bolts, 4 smaller carriage bolts. I'm going to get this bolted down, and then we're done with the floor. Then we're moving on. And that'll be here in a couple of days. I hope you tune in and watch it.